and welcome to another episode of coverage of the 2022 Tuner's Edge Drag Battle. This time, it's the two-wheel drives. If you ever want to challenge yourself, try and put a high-powered two-wheel drive down Cootamundra Airport's runway. It is a lesson in patience, setup and driving skill, and it is often highly entertaining too. Let's go.
First up is a little black magic from Motorsports Mechanical with Michael's R33 GTS25T. It looks fairly sedate on the outside with only drag radials on R32 wheels and a motive headlight duct giving away any hints. The inside has the bare necessities like a roll cage, race seat and Haltech IC7 dash. Pop the hood and that's where you see the magic. A 3.4 litre Stroker RB30 26 with a Garrett G42 1450 turbo strapped to the side on a 6-boost exhaust manifold with TurboSmart external wastegate. There is a Hypertune intercooler and V2 inlet manifold with matching Hypertune radiator. There is a PRP mechanical fuel pump kit and R35 coil pack kit with a Haltech Elite 2500 ECU controlling it all and backed up by a turbo 400 gearbox. With up to 1200 horsepower available, it was all about getting the car set up before its full potential could be unleashed. If you think putting power down at Cootamundra Airport is hard with a rear-wheel drive, a front-wheel drive is even tougher. Ask Daniel Milani with his turbo K-swapped Honda Civic.
I think what Coota separates a drag strip with is the fact that you got to get it to sit on a street or even worse than a street surface. All the setup that I've done for this event is, different to what you do at a drag strip where you'd throw a slick on and it just works. This is more of a radial setup, more things go into play, tuning is important, a lot of things that need to be done.
It's unassuming from the outside except for drag radials on the Enki rims, and the inside has Recaros and a digital dash. But pop the hood and the K20 swap with 3582 turbo lets you know why it's one of the fastest front-wheel drives to go down Cootamundra Airport's runway. The exhaust manifold, piping and inlet are all custom, and it's tuned by B2R Motorsport with a Link G4X ECU to the tune of 750 horsepower, backed up by a PPG dog engagement gear set. A van at Tuner's Edge Drag Battle? Yup, you're seeing and hearing it correctly. But we haven't gone mad, but the guys at 5A Mechanical have, fitting a 1JZ GTE engine with a 67-62 turbo and a turbo 400 gearbox to the Toyota Hiace, controlled by a Haltech Elite 2500 ECU. Looking over the van, you find lots of little cool details, from the front mount intercooler to the 17-inch coil wheels up front with AP racing brakes underneath. And then down the back, there's drag wheels wrapped in ET Street R drag radials, and you'll see the 4-link under the back. Open the sliding door and you see the nitrous bottle and some air ducting used for heat extraction. Unfortunately, no free candy in there, but there's plenty of free entertainment, and there was heaps of runs done by the van as it was being driven by 3 different people all weekend.
So it's our first time at Coota. We've driven it once before at Sydney Raceway. We're sort of here just testing out more than anything, just trying to get our bearings, give us a bit of a chance to run it at full power and give it our all. Don't really have any main goals for the weekend other than to enjoy ourselves and yeah, just see how it goes.
The first of our Barra-powered competitors was Daniel's FPV-46 from Precision Racing. The Barra has a Garrett 67mm base turbo hanging off the side with Turbo Smart external wastegate, Process West intercooler and a Nitto inlet manifold. A Haltech Elite 2500 controls the show to 700 horsepower through the Turbo 400 transmission. There is a B&M shifter and the interior has red leather and a Haltech IC7 digital dash. On the outside has 17-inch ProStar front runners to clear the 6-piston Brembo brakes and there's 15s up the back for drag radials. Another Barra-powered Falcon from Precision Racing, but this time a Ute, with Steve Zamet's V8 Killer, a veteran now at Cootamundra Airport. The built Barra runs a Garrett-based 76mm turbo with a Turbo Smart external wastegate and blow-off valve, and the Haltech Barra plug-in ECU, which helps it make 1,070 horsepower, which is sent to the wheels by the Precision Racing built ZF auto transmission. Inside, it's bucket seats and a Motec digital dash. On the outside, the World wheels cover Brembo brakes up front and there is drag radials up back. Unfortunately, a small issue meant that Steve only got one run-in this year. Nick's Wild XD is something we would normally expect to see at Muscle Car Challenge, but he bought his Wild XD Falcon out to play with the late model guys. Runs a Vortex supercharger with twin Turbo Smart Big Bubba blow-off valves, MSD ignition and a FuelTech ECU. Inside you'll see the FuelTech dash and shifter for the 2-speed power glide, and there's a roll cage and race seats. On the outside, the reverse cowl bonnet and drag wing lets everyone know the Falcon means business, and with up to 1,200 horsepower available, it sure does. Although, it was a mission to put that power down. The most appropriate number plate ever seen was on Matt's VL from Rangers Racing. The built RB30 is still an old school single cam, but is modernised with drive-by-wire throttle on a Plasma-Man inlet manifold, R35 coil packs and a PRP trigger kit with a Haltech Elite 2500 ECU to control it all. The turbo is a Precision 7675 and it makes 1,047 horsepower on 50 psi, tuned by Just Engine Management, and there is a Turbo 400 box to put it to the back tyres. Inside and out, it's pretty much classic VL style. The shifter, Momo wheel and IC7 digital dash are the only hints on the inside, and on the outside, the Simmons wheels are a party up the front, while the drag radials are business in the back. Another VL at this year's Tuner's Edge drag battle, but with a V8 under the hood, was Justin Schmidt from PSI Fab's Calais. Under the hood is a built 6-litre L98 V8 with twin Garrett GTX2582s. Justin custom fabbed all the exhaust manifold, dump pipes, intercooler and intercooler piping with Turbo Smart external wastegates. The engine bay is smooth and a work of art, showcasing his work at PSI Fab while still making 960 horsepower through a Turbo 400 transmission. How you going, mate?
Good, thanks.
How's your weekend been?
Well, I was off to a slow start.
Yeah, I heard.
Broke the diff on the very first pass yesterday. So I know some VL people in Wagga, so I got some diff gears off them, threw them in last night, so hopefully...
Now you're back into it?
Yeah.
So this is basically your first full pass then?
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd it feel, all right?
Yeah. Shit off the start. But
We'll get there, the truck will warm up.
yeah, yeah.
So the most important thing is, why do you keep coming back? You love this place, right?
Yeah, it's I love the challenge. I love the it's hard to make it work, so it's rewarding to get it right. So everything's different in the car now, so got a Haltech in it, so hopefully I can dial in some traction control stuff and see if I can make a decent pass.
But you'll be back, right?
Yeah.
Sick. The first quad rotor to attend the Tuner's Edge drag battle and winner of Tuner's Edge Choice Award was Blake's RX2 from SDR Motorsport. The quad rotor runs a precision 91mm Pro Mod turbo with custom exhaust manifold, intercooler and piping, and inlet manifold with twin turbo smart blow valves. It runs a Microtech LT16C ECU and makes 1100 horsepower on 24 psi through a 2-speed power glide. Inside there is a full cage with black leather trim and a digital dash. On the outside it's front runners and drag radials up the back for a classic look. Blake took his time dialing the car and more power in over the weekend, as the car was pretty hard to tame on the Cootamundra airport surface.
Just want to get a full pass in. I haven't really had a full-blown high boost run on it yet. It's only been stage 2. I think we did a 10.5 at 143 on lower boost. So today we're going to really sort of turn it up and see how we go.
Matt bought his Toyota Supra from Sure Shot Automotive all the way down from Queensland. The built 2JZ runs a Garrett G45 1500 turbocharger on a 6-boost manifold that blows through an ETS intercooler into a Hypertune inlet manifold. There is some nitrous in the boot, and it runs an M-Tron KV12 ECU to make 1019 rear-wheel horsepower through a 2-speed power glide. Inside, it's pretty stock except for some gauges, and the exterior has a basic body kit and rear wing with work wheels up front and 15-inch welds on the back with drag radials. For a first-timer, Matt did a great job of dialing the car in and tumbling the times down over the event. Another first-timer and interstater was Alex Whitehead from South Australia, who came up with his crew including Anthony Cece from Tuned by Cece in his FG XR6 Falcon Ute. A built Barra is needed for the precision Pro Mod 88 turbo, sitting on a 6-boost manifold with Turbo Smart external wastegate. It blows into a tunnel vision inlet manifold and runs a Motec M150 ECU to make 1300 horsepower via the Turbo 400 gearbox. Inside there is a roll cage, Kirky seats, keypad and a Motec digital dash. It runs billet specialty wheels with a 6-piston brakes inside 17-inch front runners, and there's 275 drag radials on 15-inch rims up the back. Alex didn't know what to expect, and his only goal was to beat Steve Zammit, like everybody, but ended up taking the 6-cylinder 2-wheel drive trophy home. Alex, first time here, mate.
Yeah.
And what'd you think?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like we've had a ball. We'll try and come back every year that we can. Yeah, it was really good.
It's a bit of a long drive for you, right?
Yeah, about 12 hours. Yeah, big hike.
Between you and the Queensland guys, it's probably about the same. So equal distance travel. But do you think you'd be getting this, mate? Quickest 6-cylinder, 2-wheel drive?
No, we didn't expect anything. If you know what I mean. Like we literally, as every build has, you have your dramas, your ups and downs. I'm just lucky I've got some good people around me to help me with the car. Like this is literally the first weekend this car's been down a quarter mile. So, you know, and there's plenty left in it. We're just getting it all set up right. So to run it like a 10.3, we're pretty stoked. So
it's honestly the gap between all of you guys was only a couple of tenths between about 5 of you. And you beat Steve Zammit. That's the most important thing,
exactly,
right?
exactly. And I said to them before we came, I'm like, oh, we'll grudge race, and he's like, no, only if it's straight off the trailer. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
The battle for quickest V8 was one of the best we've ever had. And even better, it was between two brothers, Adam and Danny Cirillo, who both drive hero JDM cars with turbo LS swaps and all done themselves. Adam's S15 runs a 5.7 litre LS1 with a Garrett G42 turbo, the custom intercooler and an Edelbrock inlet manifold. A Haltech Elite 2500 controls it all to the tune of 1,055 horsepower fed to the wheels via a Power Glide transmission. Inside there is a roll cage, Kirky race seat, Nardi wheel and digital dash. Only the essentials. The exterior is pretty unassuming with just the vented and bulged bonnet to house the V8 and some world racing wheels with drag radials up back. His brother Danny is the current V8 record holder at Cootamundra Airport in his FD RX7 Fat Jap. The engine bay looks pretty unassuming at first glance, but there is a built LS7 and a Garrett GTX 50 turbocharger to make 1,200 horsepower with a Haltech Elite 2500 ECU that transfers power via a 2-speed Power Glide. On the exterior, it's just a bulged bonnet to fit the engine and some world wheels with drag radials. The interior is stock, and if it wasn't for the IC7 dash and shifter, you'd have no idea that you were in one of the quickest two-wheel drives ever at Cootamundra Airport. On the first day of racing, Daniel looked to be the quickest of the two. On day 2, Adam fired back and took the lead on his very first pass with a 9.785. Danny tried turning up the power, but just went slower most of the day. But in the end, it would come down to the final of the Drag Battle two-wheel drive shootout to not just decide the winner of the shootout, but the quickest V8 at the event as well. Your reaction times in your 60s were basically identical. Yeah. And it was 9.9 and 9.7. You had a couple of mile an hour on him.
He was right up me because I looked in my rear view mirror. He was in my white blind spot. I thought he didn't even come. He must have been right next to me.
Mate. He was right there. That was a great
How
race.
good's that?
Are you ready for this?
No.
You and your brother, he was actually the quickest V8 up until that run, and you took him out by 400ths of a second.
Oh,
You're
no.
the quickest V8, mate. Well done. How does that feel? Check it out.
Yeah, it feels good.
9.734 to his, like, I think he went 9.738 or something.
Like
It
I
was
said,
nothing.
whether it was him, whether it was me, it didn't matter.
You guys were not just going head-to-head in the shootout. You guys were head-to-head the quickest V8.
Oh, we've
That's
been
incredible.
head-to-head the whole time. Just we're getting the cars going. He's been helping me, I've been helping him. It's just been ongoing.
him.
Mate, that is the
got here.
best story ever.
Yeah,
I know you're not quite at your PB of what you've done here at Cootamundra, but is the goal to come back and go quicker or what?
Yeah, that's a goal. It always
we
is.
just need a warmer day.
I know.
Warmer day.
I know, it's too cold. There's just, can't get it down.
Considering
Can't
the
get it
temperature though, you happy with the time?
Yeah. Oh, I had a lot of fun, so I'm happy.
Yeah, mate.
Happy.
That is the ultimate ending. That is absolutely.
That was great.
Great to have you here, mate.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Look at that.
Thank you.
When it comes to two-wheel drives at Cootamundra Airport, MR2s are looking almost untouchable. And Goran's one took out the quickest two-wheel drive outright and quickest four-cylinder two-wheel drive at this year's Tuner's Edge Drag Battle. The built K24 runs a Precision 6870 turbocharger with Turbo Smart external wastegate, water-to-air intercooler and Skunk 2 inlet manifold in one of the neatest engine swap bays we've seen. There is a Haltech Elite 1500 ECU tuned by Just Engine Management, making 1,052 horsepower on 40 psi, channeled through a Quaife 6-speed sequential transmission. The interior is clean and stock except for the digital dash, switch panel and sequential gear lever. The outside is also completely stock except for the Vision wheels wrapped in drag radial. Unassuming it is, but man, this thing flies. At the end of the weekend, this is how the two-wheel drive leaderboard looked for the 2022 Tuner's Edge Drag Battle.
Well done to Goran on the win and to the brothers Danny and Adam on an epic battle this year. It was great to see so many interstaters and first-timers at this event. We only have one episode of coverage left for the 2022 Tuner's Edge Drag Battle, and that is the Drag Battle Shootout. Click subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on all the action. See you next time.